What's good, y'all? This is Krill. I'm back for another review video. Shout out to all the people that's been tuning in and checking out the channel. If you are new to the channel, definitely I encourage you to subscribe to the platform. I'll be, doing review videos on a regular. Hopefully I can get reviews videos up every day. But for the most part, it's going to be a consistent flow of review videos. So today I want to talk about the new album from Mach-Hommy entitled Balen's Cho, also known as Hot Candles. And right off the bat, I have to say, I wasn't expecting this album from him. It's about 13 tracks, 23 minutes, 57 seconds, but it flows really well. Like, the listening experience on this is really easy to grasp in terms of the overall sound. It is like a combination of skits and actual songs. So, as you listen to the album, you'll notice that. But the interesting thing about the skits is that they're very, very short, and they just serve as sort of like a bridge to the songs on the album. You don't even really notice them a lot of times, I mean, you notice them, but they just kind of like flow with the songs that's stand next to them on the album, So as far as the production is soulful, but it has like a edgy, raw soulfulness to it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's easy to listen to, right? It's easy vibe to grasp. And the producers on here, most of the production is done by producer Nicholas Craven, and there's a few other tracks done by other producers. I think whenever Mach-Hommy and Nicholas Craven come together, they do exceptional work in terms of the music. So I would love to see them continue to work together, especially in the capacity of projects like EPs or albums. So let's go into some of the music. I'm just going to go to the actual songs. So the first song that you hear on there is called La Boue. The other thing too is all of the tracks are titled in French. But the track La Boue, produced by Nicholas Craven, has sort of a strong saxophone, and it starts off the album really well. You hear Mach kind of singing on there, so it's just a great opener track as far as the first song that we hear. Also, the track Separation of the Sheep and the Goat, another Nicholas Craven track. You hear Mach singing on there. It's a real strong record. Like, when you hear it, like the production just hits right away, man. And it's rich in production as well, has a really nice melody to it. And Mach is doing his singing on there, as he usually does throughout some of his music. Then the track Magnum Band Remix, which is produced by the late great Ras G. That track actually features some speaking by A.A. Rashid, which, interesting, in his talk, he talks about Africa and Africa being sort of the creator or the originator of the space program, right? So it was interesting to hear him talk about that, because if you're familiar with Ras G and his production work, he has music that goes by the African space program. So it's cool to see, A.A. Rashid give that nod and that recognition to Ras G with what he was talking about on the skit. Then we have the track La John Sao, which is also produced by Nicholas Craven. Another dope track. It sounds like a beat Madlib would do, so like when you hear it, you're like, oh, this is, you get the scrunchy face with it. Definitely raw, Like I said, Nicholas Craven did that track, And in terms of like the subject matter on the album, his subject matter is a little abstract, but definitely not as abstract as some of his other work. In fact, I think this album is a lot less abstract than even the Pray for Haiti album. Like, you can actually easily understand a lot of what he's saying on this album in terms of the subject matter that he's talking about. So I think if you have had a difficult time like deciphering his lyrics, I think this will be an easier listen for you, not just from the production standpoint, but also from the lyrical standpoint too. Also, so the next track, which is a song, is Wooden Nickels. And I really like this track in terms of the subject matter. I think this is the standout track on the album, where he talks about his Haitian grandfather and his grandfather's, history with, supporting his family, but also looking out for other people that wasn't his family. And when the grandfather transitioned, the same people that he looked out for didn't show love back to the family. So, it's like a track where Mach tells a little bit about his history and his upbringing a bit and his grandfather's legacy. So that was really cool to see. Then the track Traditional, which is another Nicholas Craven track. Mach has a line on there where he says, "What happens when conditions ain't livable? Just get to acting like their religion ain't biblical." And he has a lot of quotables on this project too, You'll catch, clever little quotables. Then we go to the track Money Magnets, which is produced by Messiah Music. It has a really raw, gritty edge to it as well. Yeah, man, like you could definitely feel the edge on it. Then you have the closer track Self Love, produced by Conductor Williams, where Mach kind of talks about the topic of self-love and him making the best decisions for his health, and really taking serious practice and action on caring about his health, and how, health is the real wealth, right? And that's what matters. So it was really interesting to see him talk about that subject matter, man. It was really good to hear him talk about that subject. And it was also cool to see him close the album with that. So, I mean, overall, like I said, the album is a solid listen. There's really no skippable tracks. Even with the skits, you just kind of just let it flow through the album. And I think at this stage in the year, at this point in the year, for us to get another album from Mach Hommy is really dope. I didn't expect that he was going to release this album, though. And as I think about it, I'm not sure which album I like more yet. It's going to be challenging to decide whether I like this better than the Pray for Haiti album he put out earlier this year. But one thing for sure is that I'm happy that he released this. So, yeah, man, the new album is available on digital streaming platforms. Again, it's by Mach Hommy. It's entitled Balin's Cho, Hot Candles. And yeah, man, go check it out. Really, really dope album, man. And I'll catch y'all on the next review. So keep it connected on the channel. Thank y'all for being here. Remember to subscribe if you like what you see and hear in terms of the videos. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Thank y'all for listening and tuning in. Take it easy.